Hello students, welcome to week 6 for PRL 320, Business Literacy for PR Professionals. This week we are working on topics related to budgeting within business and how that pertains to the PR profession. The week 6 agenda asks you to read chapter 7 from the course text, as well as complete discussion board number 6 and assignment number 6. It's important to note and make a note of this, that chapter 7 has information that pertains directly to how to complete your critical assignment. The critical assignment is due in week 8. We'll be discussing this slightly this week and then more in the coming weeks. I just would like you to make a mental note of that you'll be utilizing chapter 7 significantly with your critical assignment at the end of the course. Discussion board number 6 asks you to write a 400-word post that explains the essential functions of budgeting and types of budget within business finances. In this reflection, you'll need to look at and determine how this compares to your own budget activities and your personal finances. You don't need to give any specifics or detailed information about your financial situation. Rather, it's more of a comparison reflection on how business financing and budgets differ from personal financing and budgets in personal life. So do keep that in mind. This is due on Friday with your replies due to students no later than Sunday. Assignment number 6 asks you to write a 1 to 2 page paper on cash flow principles. We've covered this extensively already in previous chapters from the course text. However, the link provided in Blackboard, it's also here, has extensive information on a cash flow statement and what that means and what that looks like. It's important for you to review that information as well as what we've covered in the text and write a 1.5 page reflection on that. The reason why we're reviewing this again at this point in the course is that we're going to get into this as we move into our critical assignment that's due in week 8. So it's really important that we confirm and I see through your work that you have a clear understanding on what's expected of you and what you understand with cash flow statements and principles and things of that nature. So that way, if there's anything that I need to shore up on that end, I have time to give you some additional feedback to help you with your critical assignment. Since we're thinking ahead and we're moving towards understanding what's expected of us in our critical assignment, it's important to review the instructions at this point. The reason why I'm providing you with the instructions and information on that is that the critical assignment is an extensive final exam project that is due at the end of week 8, which is day 5, which is June 30th, and that it is extensive. So I want to make sure that you understand exactly what's expected of you now, because simply waiting till the beginning of week 8 to start on it will provide a lot of stress and undue hardship on you from that perspective. So it's good to get started on it early. Your critical assignment requires you to create a business budget and investment plan for a hypothetical company of your choice or an actual real company. It's up to you. This will be a 3 to 4 page plan that will include a simple working budget and a proposed investment plan within that. You'll see in chapter 7 there are a lot of tables that provide you with types of budgets and how to create a budget. There's also a lot of resources online that have templates for creating a budget. In this, you need to also provide a reflection of the learning experience. So to complete this, you'll need to use each of the assignments created through weeks 1 through 7. So assignment number 1, number 2, number 3, so on and so forth. All of those are activities that will lead towards a business budget and investment plan. Make sure you keep note of what chapter 7 says. There's a lot of information about budgeting and how businesses budget, particularly in different financial situations, and that's covered within chapter 7, so it's important to keep that in mind. Also, do note that week 8 has significantly different due dates than the other weeks. We have a real short turnaround time on grades, so the course actually ends on day 6, which is July 1st. So it's important for you to keep that in mind. The majority of your assignments are due on June 30th, which is a Friday, and there's a couple of them due on Saturday, which is July 1st. Those are university requirements that are out of my control, so it's really important that you do submit the week 8 work on time. Anything not submitted after July 1st will not count towards your final grade. Final grades are due Monday morning, so I'll be grading and submitting grades Sunday through Monday morning, and I want to make sure that you have the utmost time to get that information out. Additionally, as we move through, I want to cover some information within the chapter's content. Particularly, the chapter discusses significantly the purpose and nature of business budgets. So when we look at what is a business budget or what is budgeting, we all know and have some conceptually similar ideas for planning and ensuring we'll have sufficient resources to make it to whatever we're doing in our personal life. We understand that from a personal perspective, obviously, to pay our bills and things of that nature. As an organization plans its journey towards any strategic objective it has, they prepare a budget for that specific journey. It's usually designed as an action plan, but is more familiar, it's more widely known to us in layman's terms as a budget. So if you look at strategic objectives in a corporation, you'll see that they will have an action plan, and that action plan is really just a budget. So it's really important to keep that in mind. A budget can accomplish various tasks. For example, it can cover a short time span. If you're a startup company, developing a budget to ensure you'll have enough cash to cover operating expenses for the next couple of months. It can take more of a long-term perspective. For example, a pharmaceutical firm builds a multi-year budget for developing a new product. That's their specific strategic objective. It can focus on required resources for a specific project. So the strategic objective for a manufacturing firm may need to install machinery to achieve production efficiency. Then its budget will plot the cost for this project over time. It can also help you account for income as well as expenditures. For example, a retailer can create a profit plan based on expected increase in sales related to specific strategic objectives in that action plan. So really, what is a budget when it comes to it in business? It's a translation of strategic plans into measurable quantities that express the expected resources required and anticipated returns over a certain period of time. A budget functions as an action plan. It may also present the estimated future financial statements for the organization, and finally, is an adaptable tool for management to use to achieve its strategic goals. Notice there's some key words within that long definition. Strategic plans, strategic goals, strategic objectives. We know that public relations is a strategic management function of an organization. So it's important to know what business budgets are. As such, our critical assignment is related to that, since we will be developing strategic communication goals, strategic communication plans over the course of a period of time at a company. So if the strategic objective is to improve communication efforts to consumers from a given company, we need to know that there's going to be a business budget or action plan related to that. So it's really important to see where these financial terms and things of that nature come into play within the course. It's important to know that budgets have various functions, but there are typically 4 basic functions, each of which is critical to the success of a company in achieving its strategic objectives, whatever those objectives may be. The first one is planning. Planning relates to a 3-step process to ensure the organization will have resources available to achieve its goals. The next one is coordinating and communicating. Coordination is the act of gathering pieces together in the individual units of budgets or division budgets, and the balancing and combining of them to achieve the master budget that expresses the organization's financial objectives and strategic goals. Monitoring progress is very important when it comes to budgeting. Once the plan's been set into motion, the budget becomes a tool that managers can use to periodically monitor progress. They can assess progress by comparing the actual results with the budget results themselves. As you evaluate performance, effective performance evaluation systems contribute to the achievement of strategic goals and budgets to provide essential tools for measuring management performance. So it's really important to keep that in mind. The chapter additionally goes into some different types of budgets. For example, short-term versus long-term budgets, fixed versus rolling budgets, incremental versus zero-based budgeting, and Kaizen budgeting, as well as the master budget. In your critical assignment, you can choose what you would like to do between those budgets there. However, the information provided here will help you in developing and starting to think about what your critical assignment will be, as well as some of the assignments this week we're working on. To recap, we're reading Chapter 7. We're completing the discussion board, as well as assignment number 6. If you have any questions, let me know. I look forward to reaching out with you and working with you this week. God bless.